Hello and welcome to channel Duello. In today's video, I'll be analyzing a Nilfgaard deck. The leader ability is Enslave, and Enslave is probably one of my favorite leaders in Gwent. I really like playing with tactics, putting points as well as destroying my opponent's units. I really like this style of gameplay. And whenever I see an enslave list, I always try to test it out. And Gorflow was using this list in their videos. I checked it out and I really liked it. Well, the list is featuring one of the newly modified or buffed cards. I wouldn't say buffed, but it's now a totally different card, which is Cadavarine. This card was an artifact, now it's a tactic card, so you can tutor it with Mano, and since Enslave is totally based on number of tactics in your deck, this seems like a good choice. However, this card is kinda overpriced. The provision cost is 9. What it does is poison an enemy unit, then spawn a base copy of it on the opposite row. So this is basically a copy spell. So the targets you should seek out will probably be engines. You don't want to poison a target with a deploy ability because it's going to spawn. You're not going to be playing the unit. And poisoning is kind of a bonus. So if you can complete the poison with another card with fangs or with poisons coming from Masquerade Ball, so that's going to be big. However, most of the time you're probably not playing this for its value. There are some cases that you're going to do some smart play and feel good about it, and I just wanted to test it out, and I got, let's say, mostly successful results, but as my MMR raised, I wasn't really getting wins. So this deck helped me to get to 2460 MMR, but after I reached that peak point, I started losing games. The opponents got better, I guess, and actually the matchups are a big deal, because some matchups you easily deal with, like monsters, for example. Especially Cadavarine is powerful against monsters, because there are plenty of nice targets for Cadavarine. Nilfgaard mirror matches, they are usually favored in your case, and but let's say reactive and no unit attacks are nightmare, definitely nightmare. I think I couldn't win a single game against traps or other no unit nonsense. You need to have targets on the board in order for this to work out pretty well. I'm struggling against monster swarm decks, Araka Swarm. I got some wins, but mostly it's really a difficult opponent, because they're going wide and you have Toll Punish mostly. You need to set up Hefty Helge or Fire Scorpion on the board so that you can remove their small units with those. It's not easy to do. Other than that, against Skellige, it's okay, I guess. You just need to play really well and do not make mistakes. But let's talk about the deck a bit. So it's Enslave 5, so you need to have a proper amount of tactic cards in your hand. So this is obviously limiting the deck design, and it's going to affect some of the decisions about the inclusions. I have Crystal Skull as my stratagem card. I'm not sure about it, actually. This could easily be Magic Lamp, because this deck is really reactive. It doesn't have proactive plays, not many, and if you can't find them, you're gonna struggle and your stratagem could be useless all of a sudden. So Crystal Skull is basically for Hefty Helge and Fire Scorpion. Hefty Helge is probably the MVP of these Enslave decks, because you will have plenty of tactic cards, and whenever you play a tactic, this guy or this machine gains 1 charge and you damage a unit by 2, and it has shield, one of the best and I would say balanced Nilfgaard cards in the game. So it's a must. And Fire Scorpion is a smaller Helga. It's going to gain 1 charge and damage a unit by 1 whenever you play a tactic card. And it's more difficult to defend this card because it doesn't have shield on it. But at least, I mean, it has 1 armor, so with especially Crystal Skull on it, this could turn into a really big threat. So drawing these cards are really important if you're playing on blue coin. And what about the tactics? I already talked about Cadavarine, so this is our first tactic card. The other is obviously Coup de Grace, so you can't see any Nilfgaard lists without Coup de Grace, so it has become a staple. Other than that, we have Experimental Remedy, a copy of. Play a bronze unit from your opponent's graveyard. The provision cost has been reduced from 6 to 5. This is pretty good, but you need it obviously for second or third rounds. I have a single Imperial Diplomacy. This is pretty good as a proactive play, because you're going to be struggling with proactive plays. That's why at least I need 1 of these. 2 Coded Weapons, 5 provision, 5 damage, pretty good. And plus, if you can do it, there's the clogging effect. So, I mean, this is not a clog deck, obviously, but, you know, if you can coded weapon the opponent's magic lamp or any other, let's say, low tier targets, bronze targets, that's nice. So they may maybe struggle with finding their better cards if you clog their decks. But I mean, we have only 2 copies, so that's not a huge deal. Other than that, we have 2 Tourney Joust, classic tactic card for Nilfgaard, and I guess that's about it. And we can add 4 more to gain, let's say, Enslave 6, but it won't work because you need some units on the board as well. So Enslave 5 is the most balanced and, let's say, most consistent Enslave type in my opinion. Let's move to the gold cards. Most of the gold cards are based around Masquerade Ball actually. We have Masquerade Ball as well. This Tactics Ball kind of deck is really popular. I wouldn't say really popular, but I mean, we see it pretty often on the ladder for the last 5 or 6 months or so. And to trigger Masquerade Ball, we don't have many targets actually. I mean, some versions use only Joachim and Roderick as 2 aristocrats. It's too risky in this deck. You need more. Usurper Officer is one of that, but you have to play him on the 3rd turn because his 3rd form is an aristocrat. So you gotta pay attention to that. Other than that, we have a single Von Morlam Hunter, so he is an aristocrat, and in some cases you need another aristocrat, or maybe you're missing one of your gold aristocrats, so this is kind of an emergency stop button. Other than that, you need luck. This deck isn't based around soldiers. If you pay attention, we don't have Roderick, not Roderick, Ramon here, so we don't have soldier synergy. That's why I'm not using Alba Cavalry, so this is my only actually luck option. So I mean, I wouldn't recommend removing this. And those are our aristocrats. What about other cards? We have Brathens. Brathens is pretty powerful here, but to play with Brathens, you know, you have to include some spies, bronze spies, and the Duchess Informant is a must. And if I could, I mean, I really would like to add Emissary here, but in order to do that, I have to remove a bronze 4P card. Nausicaa Sergeant could be an option, but as I said earlier, there are only a few proactive cards in this deck, so I really don't want to remove Nausicaa Sergeant. But if we want to test this deck out, you can remove Sergeant with Emissary. But if you're playing Emissary, I would recommend you to then switch Crystal Skull with Magic Lamp. So if you don't have anything to play, you can play your you hit your lamp, play your Emissary, and boost the lamp. So that could be an option. And finally, we have Yennefer's Invocation, one of the best Nilfgaard cards in the game. So unfortunately, it's a spell. It's not a tactic. I wish it was. And I said finally, but there is one more gold card, which is our tutor for tactics. Mano, again, is a must in this deck. He seeks out tutors, especially critical tutors that you're missing. For example, if you're missing coup de grace, do not just play Mano and get another tutor. You know, there is no guarantee that you're drawing your coup de grace. This is the most important, maybe the most important card in the deck. If you have coup, though, you can tutor important tactic cards like Cadavarine or anything else from this from the remaining tutors. Besides, it's a thinning card, so the odds of drawing your goals is especially getting higher as you approach the final round. And drawing goals is not a big problem in this deck. I mean, there are some thinning cards, but if you can't draw your Roderick, that's a problem, because Roderick is crucial in winning the game. If you can't draw your Roderick, you're gonna have a really difficult time. And we have some more bronze remaining, such as we have a single Imperial Diviner. You need a Purify card. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit a Cupbearer here, and the other option could be like, you know, removing Cadavarine, adding a Cupbearer, and then adding some more provisions to the bronzes. Maybe that version could help, but you need to add a tactic card. Don't forget about that, because we're going to be removing one Cadavarine here. And we have 2 hunting packs for thinning purposes. Why hunting pack? Because we're giving lots of statuses. We have luck, plenty of poisons in this deck, if you hadn't noticed. So triggering hunting pack is not a huge problem, but compared to the soldier thinning cards, this is a bit more difficult, because you know, you're playing, for example, you're playing your Helga and destroying everything on the board. I mean, there may not be a target for you to play your hunting pack. But since you're thinning too well, I mean, you won't have many units on the final round remaining in your deck. So with Joachim, there is a chance that you can pull both of your hunting packs from your deck. So that's not a bad play in the final round either. And we have 2 Fangs to complete the poison package. So 2 Fangs, 2 probably coming from Masquerade Ball and the Cadavarine. That's pretty good, actually. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 sample games that I played this week, and one of them will be commentary lifetime. The other was in Turkish, so I'm gonna comment on it in English and overwrite the sound. And I hope you like these. If you wanna, I mean, if you really like tactics and control, I would recommend using this deck. But there are probably better Nilfgaard versions, especially the Imprisonment spy package seems really attractive, so the next Nilfgaard video will probably on that. Okay, so let's move to the games and see you at the end of the video. Okay, facing Blaze of Glory. I'm going on second. I should somehow find a way to win uneven here, because Iced is such a strong finisher. Okay, plenty of tactics, no Helga or Fire Scorpion, as usual. Do I need Imperial Diviner here? Probably not. Okay, so come on, man. Maybe I should throw away Masquerade Ball. I cannot win with this hand. Highly doubtful. I needed the one of these. I will be using the tactics, and without the engine, these tactics are not as worthy as I think. I'm just gonna put Sergeant here. Pray that he doesn't have Guiding Slash so I can develop it somehow. Well, there is the Guiding Slash. Fantastic. Just great.
True love could lift the curse, but who would love such a freak?
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
Okay. Comes Protector.
Freya's bulwark! That's what we are!
Not a bad target for coated weapons, honestly. Or just I could lock it.
Beaters, forward! Let the hunt begin.
My opponent can pass right now. Things would have been much different with Fire Scorpion. I mean, even that could help. Maybe I should play two of them. Bjorn into Blood Eagle. Just getting it. Yep. Great sword. I don't think this needs to be in the graveyard yet. My Brock War Hunter is a gunner. An early Kadoosh.
Go ahead, stare at me stump again, see what happens.
I'm gonna hit that as well. A Bear Witcher.
I'll cleave you in two.
13 points. I have 8 points. With Hunting Pack. I should keep playing.
Hail, Kertzer!
Well, this is pretty good. 8 points. Or not. Wait a minute. How many cards do I have left? I don't look at that, but I think Adrenaline 3. This is 6 points. Okay, that was the correct call.
What are you gonna do, huh?
I still have 3 more cards I can play. It's not gonna luck anybody. I need 15 points. 8 here. 12. I got coup de grace though. Yeah. So with coup de grace, well, this is luck though. Okay, this is not gonna get boost. So coup de grace will bring me 5, 8, 13. It's not enough. I have to use leader or something like that to get ahead of my opponent. Such a shame that I can't use counter hunting back here. Suppose I use it. It's gonna be 19. I'm gonna take a risk here once again. I took these risks in the last games, and it didn't go well for me. Well, as usual, it's not working out for me. Well, not exactly. I have 8 points with Bear Witcher. Okay.
Her grace will not be pleased.
All that dancing around.
Okay.
Not for me.
Bear Witcher is such a strong card that you know, you could forget that he's a bronze card. Okay, I will have last say. Imperial Diviner would be good for Trigby. One turn he just gone and another one comes. Great. I have Broke War Hunter in my graveyard in case I get Herald. Well, Usurper is a pretty good choice to begin with, but you could have some, you know, bronzes, and you know, I can trade Usurper with 2 bronzes or something like that, and I can use, lose a lasso. I'm gonna try my chances with playing a long round against this nightmare of a deck. Okay, he's got his Great Sword in the graveyard, which is gonna be Yalmaran Great target. Helga is kinda useless here actually. Let's take a look at the... Okay, so 3 golds. I can pull 2 of them, so Mano isn't that crucial. Should I try? Okay, this is better. If he's not running Trigby, this is a dead card.
Women, children, elders. We spare none.
If I use Roderick, will he kill Roderick with Great Raiders? How about this? I use Cadavarine on it. No. Kinda need to have Helga at least 2 tactic cards, just in case. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with Masquerade Ball.
A superb specimen, truly.
This is gonna die probably. Comes Herald.
Up and at 'em, you lazy bastards! You'll sleep when you're dead. I promise you a quick death.
Opponent's not using the ping on Great Raiders, obviously. This is not a bad target. I could, seize Herald here. Yeah, that's also another option, but what am I gonna play after I see them?
My rule will be strong, my rule will be righteous.
Feeling a bit fetish?
So he will be forced to use it. There it is. So Bloodthirst 1 for my opponents, and he's gonna get Bloodthirst easily because I played the operatives here. Okay, another one. This is bad.
Very corpses? Nay, feed our foes to the crabs while they still live.
Let's just forget about it. Maybe Helge isn't that important. Actually, I should have used as a last say maybe that Cadavarine spell. There's Girdle.
We'll fight to the last bloody drop in our veins.
Now there's nobody to ping here. Okay, I'm checking my options here. Okay, that's not a great card, obviously.
Take care of your blades and they'll take care of you.
No sign of trickery. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna try this.
I shall flog them into submission.
Arsenic or nightshade? Drinking can be hazardous to your health.
That was somewhat a lucky pull here. I still haven't decided what to use coup de grace on. Joachim or Roderick. Well, I put a target for Utah. That's not good. Oh, he has Bloodthirst too. Well, this is not bad. I'm gonna kill this, actually. And deny Bloodthirst, hopefully. I hope this is not madness. Okay, so what are the last cards? I'm still banking on him playing Trigby here. Okay. Too bad.
I once lopped off 3 heads with 1 blow.
What's his last card? Blood Eagle. Oh, he used Blood Eagle already. Could be Trigby. If it is Trigby, I don't think it's a big deal. So it's...
Stars contend you shall be victorious today.
I don't know who to... I think if it's Trigby, I already won. Okay, that's iced. And he can't use the Bloodthirst too. I took a risk here, but I think it paid off.
So, no one else dares face me?
That was a stressful game. I'm glad I got the win here. Now let's see how this deck fares against Keltulus. Okay, so here is our hand, and against Keltulus there is a problem, which is Keltulus don't play many bronzes. Actually, there are only a few. So I gotta be careful about playing spies there. I'm playing on red coin, which is a huge plus here, and I already have Hefty Helga, and they do not have many ways to deal with Helga. So I think I should keep it. I'm removing Sergeant, and I also mold away the poison guy, which could be... I mean, that wasn't a great decision because I had Cadavarine in my hand. Maybe I should have kept it and tried to complete the poison. Okay, so the opponent starts with Ygern, which is great news for me. And by the way, I mean, I had Imperial Diviner, so if he had started with a Defender, I already had an answer. So that is a huge card. I mean, really critical. So the opponent isn't starting with Siri. So if he had started with Siri and put the Crystal Skull on it, I mean, I would have had some problems. Anyway, I started with Hefty Helga. As I said earlier, I mean, the only card that he can deal with Helga at this moment is Heatwave. So he probably wants to save Heatwave for, obviously, Masquerade Ball. And so he's going to try to remove it with other methods, like playing Nithral here and then boosting it with Crystal Skull. So 9 powers is a tall unit. The opponent thinks that I will be struggling to remove it. However, that's not the case here, because Hefty Helga has already a charge on it, so 2 damage there. And then I can play Coded Weapons, that's 5, +2, and a new charge will appear because I will play a tactic card, so that's a total of 9 damage, so perfect. I'm gonna just, just kill it. There was the option of stealing it after getting its power below 6, but it is kinda early to use my leader, especially in the first round, and the opponent already played Ygritte, so if I am using my leader in the first round, I should be able to win uneven, and that won't be the case here. So I just removed a really important threat with coded weapons, basically a 5p bronze card. And I mean, if I can, I can kill Ygritte as well, but it has 9 armor on it, so I need to spend a couple of cards. So not sure if I should do that. Here comes Maxi. So playing Maxi is kind of a sign that he won't push in this round, because he already has many points, so he will probably leave the round to me. I will be using the Cadavarine here. I could have actually kept it for the upcoming rounds, but I really didn't have many options, and I want to play the hunting pack. That's one of the reasons I did that. There is no other option to give status. I have obviously Hunter, but Hunter is really important. I better keep him for more important cards. So I poisoned Maxi and spawned a copy of her. And that's also a kind of threatening for my opponents. I mean, if I hadn't actually mauled away my fangs, I would have completed the poison, and maybe my opponent would risk losing the round uneven. That's why he should seriously consider passing here, which he will. That's what he did. And now I can play my hunting pack. I mean, get the thinning card out. And as you see, I need 2 more points. So the Helge had 2 charges already. I mean, 2 damage, 1 charge already, so I win the round with the most efficient way possible. And the opponent had to use Ygritte and Nethral, so I traded Helga with those 2 cards, which is really good for me. I have Invocation, Great News, Defender again, so I can deal with Keltulus right away. And that remedy will not be really helpful here. If I want to bleed my opponent, I should keep Nausicaa Sergeant, but I don't think there's no need for me to bleed my opponent. I think I can win the long round against Keltulus, because I have the proper answers to the threats. I'm fairly confident about that, so I think I will pass here, and I think I'm favored against this in this matchup. Especially they cannot use their leader on Ciri anymore. I mean, they can use it to power her up, but there won't be any veils. So I can lock Ciri easily, and that's what Hunter is for in this case. Because he will veil other units. Okay, so as a dry pass round, opponent smartly uses Oneiromancy into Skiril so that he is guaranteed not to draw it. Okay, now let's see what we will draw into. We don't have Masquerade Ball yet. Drawing Fangs is okay. I don't think I need 2 of these tactics. I still have 3 more mulligans. Drawing Mano is nice. Now I can get rid of Turnijas. Well, Brathens is good. It's a gold card, a lot of points, but not in this matchup actually. So in order for Brathens to work, I need bronze cards on my opponent's side of the board. So I have 2 more mulligans. I think I kind of risked it here. I shouldn't have done that, and the other 2 options were better than this Duchess Informant. So that was a mistake, or maybe being too greedy on my part. Opponent starts with the Defender, and I immediately purify it, there is this option of taking the defender with invocation, and then playing the defender with Joachim or Roderick, and then guaranteeing that my Masquerade Ball survives. However, what am I going to do about Keltulus if I use that line? So that's why playing the Purify is the safer option here. Anyway, the opponent uses Beast. Beast is a a threat that needs to be dealt with immediately. Unfortunately, I don't have 6 damage, and what can I do here? I can just lock it, but as I said earlier, I'm saving the lock for Ciri. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use one of my damage tactic cards and steal the Beast. Beast is gonna boost itself by 2. Actually, this wasn't the best choice here, so looking back at it, maybe locking the Beast was better, and then I can kill or steal Ciri maybe, or do a similar thing with Mano, damage it and then steal it. That would have been a probably better decision. But I think the outcome will be the same. The opponent will easily remove Beast here. Fortunately for me, he doesn't do it with natural selection, so he used Parasite. So if I had done the same thing with Ciri would have been parasited as well, so nothing changed. Well, the problem is, what am I going to play here? Bretons and Duchess Informant are really dead here. There are no bronze cards on my opponent's side of the board, which is a huge problem. So replacing Emissary with Sergeant could be an option in deck building. So if I had Emissary in my deck here, I would have played Bradens into Emissary. That would have been a good play. Instead, I'm going to draw my Masquerade Ball with Roderick, because I don't have any other options, and hope for the best. At least I have a poison target on the board, which is a defender, this gorilla looking troll. So okay, what will my opponent answer to this? Which is Keltulus. So Keltulus comes out a bit earlier than I expected. The number of units are the same here, so none of my units will be destroyed at this moment, but obviously he will have some boost spells, so he's not gonna play units. This is an odd play here right now. Why would you use your leader on Cave Troll? I couldn't understand it. Anyway, invocation was reserved for Keltulus, obviously, so without losing any units, I was able to deal with Keltulus. If I use Joachim, Keltulus will come into play, and if I play it on melee row, that's gonna hurt me. So what I should do is play him on range row, so that I will get many points, and its ability will not trigger. Okay, Ciri dash comes. I immediately lock it, and since Hunter is an aristocrat, Fangs comes into play, and I poison Ciri. Well, in this case, if my opponent hadn't used Veil, maybe I would have gone for poisoning the troll, and then he would have used the leader ability to put Veil on the already poisoned unit and save the unit from the second part of poison. But probably I wouldn't have done that, because Ciri can't get Veil. So this nerf really helps Nilfgaard. I wouldn't say the same thing about other factions, but against Nilfgaard just got better when faced with Keltulus. So here comes Wrath. Wrath takes care of my, let's say, mildly boosted Dame. And now I need to find another, not proactive, but I think I should complete my poison package here and play the second aristocrat. Still, Bretons and Duchess Informant have no targets. And I don't think I will find any targets. If he had bronze units, he would have played already. So I'm just discarding the spy here because she will give him 1 point. So why give him 1 point? It's better to just get rid of it and wait for my opponent to play a card here. And I have plenty of worthless units on the board, but it still has solid plays, like boosting one of the units with Pact. But that's not going to bring many points. I'm going to go ahead and play Joachim. Maybe I should have played Usurper here. I really don't know why I did this. Maybe to get dominance. But Wrath has been played, so that doesn't make much difference actually. So Keltulus comes with her glory. 17-point Keltulus on range row. While playing this, one of my viewers asked me why you are playing her on melee row, and we're getting the answer here. This is a really great move by my opponent. That Dao card is usually used to, move Keltulus from range to melee row, because especially Squirtle has move units, so Keltulus will be moved instead of getting locked or something like that. So Dao, returns her to the melee row. But in this instance, my opponent used the move to move my Keltulus to melee row, and now it's gonna work against me because I have, as you see, 6 units on the board and the opponent has 4 units. So at the end of my turn, one of my units will be destroyed. Fortunately, that's a 2-power unit, which is Mano. Poor guy, helped me a lot, but he'll just be another victim to Keltulus from the looks of it. So I think this is a good time to play Usurper because I need some smaller units. I can't do anything about my own Keltulus here. But as you see, the point difference is huge. So getting rid of these 2 or 3-point starts are not that big of a deal. Well, the problem is the Braden's card, which is useless here. Here comes the second Oneiromancy, and the classic play, Osrael eating his best friend Egern and getting fat while doing that. And even that is not enough to catch up. I'm gonna play Braden's for only 6 points. So the additional point kinda benefited Usurper there because I played an agent, and so the eating machine continues. Next in line are those 3-powered units, but as you see, I'm 9 points ahead, and the final coup de grace will hit on Joachim, and I will get another big boosted unit. Here comes Heatwave. This is interesting. As you see, I didn't mention that while commenting on this. The Masquerade Ball wasn't Heatwave, which is really surprising actually. And even more surprising is that the opponent had Heatwave all the time in his hand. So why not use it on such an important and game-changing card? This is just too greedy line. He probably wanted to, Heatwave the boosted units from Joachim. But, I'm putting those agents on the board, and they're also points. And, poisoning your units, man. I mean, why would you save Heatwave? This is odd. And even if he hadn't Heatwave in his hands, he would have Oneiromancy and found it. This was really odd. And I wouldn't say it costed the game. I would have probably, won the game anyway. But it just made things easier for me. Okay, so 8 points difference is not that big. And by the way, the opponent removed Keltulus. Well, Keltulus was working against me, but he was 17 points, so he had to do that for obvious reasons. So I used the final charge on coup de grace, and a 12-point Fire Scorpion comes into play. So that's about it, and I hope you like the sample videos that I shared with you guys today, and hope to see you in another Duello video. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and if you're enjoying the content that I'm posting in this channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. See you, and bye bye.